Introduction. We have already discussed how to create HTML documents, save them and open them in a web browser. Now in this lesson, we will learn more about HTML and Cascading Style Sheet, CSS. Cool fact: HTML along with Hypertext Transport Protocol, HTTP, and Uniform Resource Locator, URL, were created by Tim Berners-Lee in the latter part of the 1980s. Cascading Style Sheets. Cascading Style Sheets, or CSS, is a simple design language intended to simplify the process of making web pages presentable. CSS handles the look and feel part of a web page. Using CSS, you can control the color of the text, the style of fonts, the spacing between paragraphs, how columns are sized and laid out, what background images or colors are used, layout designs and variations in display for different devices and screen sizes, as well as a variety of other effects. CSS is easy to learn and understand. It provides powerful control over the presentation of an HTML document. Most commonly, CSS is combined with the markup language HTML or XHTML. Advantages of CSS. Saves time. You can write CSS once and then reuse the same sheet in multiple HTML pages. You can define a style for each HTML element and apply it to as many web pages as you want. Pages load faster. If you are using CSS, you do not need to write HTML tag attributes every time. Just write one CSS rule of a tag and apply it to all the occurrences of that tag. So, less code means faster download times. Easy maintenance. To make a global change, simply change the style and all elements in all the web pages will be updated automatically. Superior styles to HTML. CSS has a much wider array of attributes than HTML, so you can give a far better look to your HTML page in comparison to HTML attributes. Multiple device compatibility. Style sheets allow content to be optimized for more than one type of device. By using the same HTML document, different versions of a website can be presented for handheld devices such as PDAs and cell phones or for printing. Global Web Standards. HTML attributes are being deprecated nowadays and it is being recommended to use CSS. So, it's a good idea to start using CSS in all the HTML pages to make them compatible to future browsers. Adding CSS to HTML elements. CSS can be added to HTML elements in three ways. Inline, by using the style attribute in HTML elements. Internal, by using a style element in the head section. External, by using an external CSS file. Inline CSS. Inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. It uses the style attribute of an HTML element. The example below sets the text color of the HL element to blue. Output: it will be shown in the browser like this. Internal CSS. An internal CSS is defined in the head section of an HTML page within a style element. It is used to define a style for a single HTML page. Let's consider the following example. Output: it will be shown in the browser like this. External CSS. An external style sheet is used to define the style for many HTML pages. With an external style sheet, you can change the look of an entire website by changing one file. To use an external styled sheet, add a link to it in the head section of the HTML page. For example, output. It will be shown in the browser like this. CSS font property. CSS color. The CSS color property defines the text color to be used. CSS font family. The CSS font family property defines the font to be used. CSS font size. The CSS font size property defines the text size to be used. Let's look at the following example. Output. It will be shown in a browser like this. HTML images. In HTML, images are defined with the img tag. The img tag is empty. It contains attributes only and does not have a closing tag. The src attribute specifies the URL, web address of the image. Syntax. img src is equal to URL. Let's discuss the different attributes in detail. Alt attribute. The alt attribute provides an alternate text for an image in case the user cannot view it for some reason. Slow connection, an error in the src attribute, or if the user is using a screen reader. The value of the alt attribute should describe the image. If a browser cannot find an image, it will display the value of the alt attribute. Syntax. img src is equal to India_gate.jpg. Alt is equal to picture of India gate. Image size, width and height. You can use the style attribute to specify the width and height of an image. The width and height attributes always define the width and height of the image in pixels. Syntax. img src is equal to img_girl.jpg. Alt is equal to girl in jacket. Style is equal to width is to 500 px. Height is to 600 px. Or img src is equal to img_girl.jpg. Alt is equal to girl in jacket. Width is equal to 500. Height is equal to 600. Example. Output. It will be shown in the browser like this. Working with the background in an HTML file. Background color. The background color property specifies the background color of an element. With CSS, a color is most often specified by a valid color name like red, a HEX value like #FF0000, an RGB value like RGB bracket 255,0,0. Example. Output. It will be shown in the browser like this. Background image. The background image property specifies an image to use as the background of an element. By default, the image is repeated, so it covers the entire element. Example. Output. It will be shown in the browser like this.